Kamu makan loh.
If it almost fits, it fits.
Misty! Misty, where are you? Oh, George Spin.
I'm so hungry. I can Bella.
Moments like this are a reminder that animals aren't just part of our lives. They're part of the journey. Yeah, he really committed to that. Moments like this remind you, animals are smarter than we give them credit for.
Eccola.
When you're a big fan of the movie Alice in Wonderland and see the invisible glass in front.
sometimes do things that only they can understand. Related to food.
Every time.
That's evil! Oh my god, you're devil. You're devil.
He even attacks first and checks later.
She doesn't like my phone. She's gonna hit it.
This is my dog, and that's my other dog, and this is their best friend.
I got that on video.
Life gets complicated when your own foot turns on you.
Billy busted a hole in the fence a couple days ago.
It's a different school, it's far.
Long to welcome them home.
What did you do to my dog?
Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, A Quiet Noon When MIT Sleeps Peacefully. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. Noon arrives softly in our house, not with noise or urgency, but with a warm hush that settles into every corner. The sunlight at this hour is different, less sharp than morning light, less dramatic than evening glow. It spills through the window in slow, golden strips, landing on the floor like it has all the time in the world. This is MIT's favorite time of day. MIT is my dog, my quiet companion, my small but constant shadow. He doesn't rush through life. Even his footsteps seem careful, as if he's afraid of disturbing the peace that lives in our home. Around noon, after the world outside grows heavy with heat and movement, MIT finds his place near the window, circles twice, and lowers himself onto the cool tile floor with a satisfied sigh. His ears relax first, then his shoulders. His breathing slows, becoming a gentle rhythm that blends with the ticking clock on the wall. Sometimes his tail gives a small, lazy thump, not because he's excited, but because he feels safe. Watching him at this moment feels like watching time itself take a nap. I sit nearby, pretending to read or work, but really, I'm watching MIT. His chest rises and falls, steady and calm. One paw stretches forward, the other curls slightly inward, like he's holding on to a dream. There's something deeply comforting about sharing silence with a dog. No expectations. No conversations to manage. Just presence. Outside, life continues loudly. Motorbikes pass, people talk, the world rushes forward. Inside, MIT sleeps, and the house breathes with him. This simple contrast reminds me that peace doesn't require perfection. It only needs a moment and a willingness to stay still. MIT's sleep is never completely still. Every now and then, his nose twitches, as if catching the scent of something pleasant in his dreams. His paws move gently, running towards something only he can see. Sometimes he lets out a soft, almost musical sigh, the kind that sounds like relief. I wonder what MIT dreams about. Maybe long walks where the grass is endless and soft. Maybe a version of me who never leaves the house and always has treats in their pocket. Or maybe he dreams of nothing at all, simply resting in a space where love exists without effort. At one point, the sunlight shifts, sliding slowly across the floor until it reaches MIT's face. He squints, adjusts his head slightly, and continues sleeping. That tiny movement feels incredibly intimate, like being trusted with a secret. In that moment, I realize how much MIT relies on me, not just for food or shelter, but for emotional safety. I reach out quietly and place a light blanket over part of his body. He doesn't wake up. Instead, his breathing deepens, as if he understands the gesture even in sleep. Caring for an animal teaches you that love doesn't always need to be loud. Sometimes it's a blanket placed gently. Sometimes it's choosing not to interrupt a peaceful nap. As MIT sleeps, my own thoughts slow down. Problems that felt urgent an hour ago now seem less sharp. I notice my shoulders relaxing, my breathing matching his. There's a strange, beautiful synchronization that happens when humans allow themselves to follow an animal's pace instead of forcing the animal to follow ours. MIT wakes briefly at some point, opens one eye, and looks at me. His gaze is soft, unguarded. Then he closes his eye again, fully trusting that I'm here, that nothing bad will happen while he sleeps. That look stays with me longer than words ever could. MIT's peaceful noon sleep is more than a cute daily habit. It is a quiet lesson about how we live our lives today. In a world that constantly pushes us to move faster, achieve more, and stay connected at all times, MIT reminds me that rest is not weakness, it is wisdom. Animals do not feel guilty for sleeping. They do not measure their worth by productivity. They rest because their bodies and hearts ask them to. From MIT, we can learn to listen to ourselves more gently. When we feel tired, we should allow ourselves to pause instead of forcing ourselves to continue. A short rest, a moment of silence, or simply sitting beside someone we love can restore more energy than endless effort. MIT also teaches us about trust. He sleeps deeply because he feels safe. In our relationships, with family, friends, or animals, we should try to create that same sense of safety. Be present. Be kind. Be consistent. These small actions build strong emotional bonds. Finally, living with animals reminds us to slow down and notice life's quiet beauty. A sleeping dog, warm sunlight, shared silence. These simple moments help us reconnect with what truly matters: compassion, balance, and peaceful coexistence between humans and animals.